Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Max. Let's check out these Defiance funds. It's the middle of the day. See what's going on. All right, first we'll look at the first two columns on the left of the spreadsheet right here. It looks like it's a mixed bag as far as market performance goes. You know, the indexes are down slightly. The NASDAQ's down slightly anyway. I shouldn't say the indexes are down slightly. Because the Russell's down more than a point, so that's pretty bad. I was looking at the indexes here. Okay, but as far as the NASDAQ is not, it's not too bad yet. Sorry about that. I opened up a window on another computer and I thought I was trying to cheat. I had to shut it down one place. All right. Here's a 30-minute bar chart. Let's see what's going on with this. The NASDAQ's going straight sideways. It's right, you know, they aren't at full profit yet. They're about halfway there, though. But if you look at the Russell, unfortunately, this is what IWMY trades, and it is going straight down. So, tell of two markets today. All right. Let's look over here at some of the crypto-related ones. Okay, here's Coinbase. Oh my gosh, they've blown out the morning update. They've blown out their first strike. Now they've approached their second strike, which is great. It's a timing-wise on options. On options, you have to be right about direction and the time and the timing of it, but also the magnitude of the move. Well, anyway, they got the magnitude of the move right, 245. They were early on the timing. They have a Friday option. So I guess that's the earliest option that expires. I mean, it's not like they have daily options on Coinbase. So it's whatever. Some of these stocks just go up so fast you can't hardly corral them with covered call strategies. Some people suggested maybe these stocks aren't the best stocks for covered call strategies. That's what I used to think, but I'm beginning to think maybe that's exactly opposite. Maybe these are the best stocks for covered call strategies, ironically, even though you do leave a lot of upside on the table because you are still able to capture a ton of upside, whereas in the indexes, generally, you don't really catch a ton of upside. Not even in the regular ones, but especially not in the daily indexes. Especially not. Okay. Looky here. Amazon's approaching this downtrend line. I'm hoping they can get on the other side of it and start a rally. All right. Come on, Amazon. All right. There's oil. Look at bonds taking off today. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, Tress ought to be doing its job, right? Let's go check up on Tress. Yesterday, I checked their options that they had sold, and they were about worthless. One was worth 3 cents and one was worth 4 cents, and they're short options. So they can't, go any lower than zero. So you saw your racks. Okay. Let's do this. I thought I saw the new IWMT or the new QQQT. Boy, that's going to be a good one. I mean, all these are good, but the target fund's a really nice approach because of the partial upside cap. Okay. It's just an elegant solution. So let's see what their current position is. Yeah, see, they've sold this option. It's worth 5. That's a short. Well, actually, this one's a short. They sold that option. They sold it 250 times. It's worth 3 cents. So all they have left to go profit on this is 3 cents. And unfortunately, let's see. Oh, looky here. These guys finally did something good. Oh my gosh. Because they've got double on the wings. I guess that's what they're supposed to have. Okay, I see what it is. They have double on the wings. Okay, so they have 250 on a call wing, which is a 91 strike, not for this Friday, for this Friday. But that's a 91 strike for this Friday. They stand to make some money on this thing. Look at this thing. These guys finally did something right for once. No, I'm just joking. This is just a more sophisticated strategy. Yeah, look at this. So this option's a 91 strike, right? Market's at 92.79. We'll call it 93. So that option's worth a $3 or 93 minus 91 is $2. The option's worth $2 intrinsically, which is a lot more than they have in it. I would bet you, or it's approaching that way, or it's more than they have in it. I don't know about a lot more. Great job, guys. Let's look at Tress itself. Now, Tress itself is down today, probably because of, did it go X today? Is today ex-dividend day? It probably, I don't know. Yeah, there it is, ex-dividend day right there. Well, actually, it was yesterday. Well, anyway, ex-date was yesterday. The amount was 16 cents. So 16 cents came out. So 16 cents is not a gigantic amount. It was about at $17. Now it's about at 16.84. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's all it is. That's all it is. Of course, don't forget you can on any chart, you can go down here to settings and you can hit adjust data for dividends, and it'll take that out of there, because that gap really doesn't reflect reality. The stock, the investment's not down today, right? Because they just traded you some of the NAV for some of the money. But the investment, I should say it, the investment isn't down today as much as it looked like on the other chart. It is still kind of trending gradually downwards. All right. But in any event, this investment, even with dividends factored in, is trending down because I'm going to overlay a chart of bonds, which it's finally recovered, but for a long time, the price of the underlying was down, causing the price of the fund to come down, right? Well, now that here's the classic covered call problem. Now the market's going back up and the fund hasn't recovered yet. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. But in any event, I think good things are happening for this fund. We'll see. I'm just glad it's finally going the right way. If this gets really crazy and it goes to some further volatility into tomorrow, I mean, this could be insane. The last couple of times it got above the Bollinger Bands, it popped back in. It was kind of a fake out, in fact, every time it does. So, I mean, not this time. This time it got above the Bollinger Bands and trended up, but sometimes it gets up there and it turns around and goes the other way. We'll see what happens. I'll keep an eye. All right. There's a daily strategy of Misty, or a daily chart of Misty. We'll look at the daily chart of the NVIDIA's daily chart is looking good. Trying to make a new high. Getting rejected so far. We've already seen coin, but I don't think we've seen the daily chart. Yeah, they're at the second strike price. When you zoom back you can kind of get a perspective on how they've been doing and how good their call writing program has been. Right here they busted these two strikes out, okay. But then they wrote this one and they did fine. In fact, they were almost perfect on that one. Then they rolled to that one and that was a little too far. Market went up, but then back down. So then they rolled down to this one, and then within a couple of days, they busted it. But then by the next day, it came back down. But then the next day after that, it busted it again. So then they had to go to a higher strike, which they rolled it out here. Then they eventually rolled to 3 strikes, and the market came back. So those, or 4 strikes, the market. It didn't hit any of them, but you can see how they just put the strikes out there ahead of the market. And they just try to put it out there just far enough where that market never quite gets there, and they can still win, still capture some NAV appreciation and make a full profit from these calls expiring worthless that they sold short. Okay, let's look at the buffer report. All right, USOY not leading on the downside anymore. I don't know if you guys saw the morning report. It was leading on the downside. It looks like USOI has turned around. I don't follow that one every day. IWMY having a really tough day, obviously. PAPI, Poppy's, I think it's a Morgan Stanley fund, a parametric something. But anyway, it follows stocks that more closely track some of the smaller, Main Street as opposed to Wall Street or international companies. Anyway, so it's down too, which doesn't surprise me. iSpy's off. IQQ's off. Now on the good list, we have TUGN, XDTE, QYY or triple QY, I should say. JEPI is also doing well. But really, I got to shout out to TUGN up 26 basis points and triple QY up 21 basis points. Great day. Let's check and see if USOI is really, let's look at this. USOI is the oil. It's E-Trax is the name of the company. They're saying it's up, I guess, from yesterday's close. It is, yeah. It just didn't look like it was up, but it's supposed to track USO also. It's a covered call strategy, I believe. I've never done a review on it. Maybe I need to. Now, here's an example. It looks like USO has gapped down this morning. Oops. Okay. And that's why it's important to know how this stuff works. Now, or what USO really has gapped down. That's right. I was going to say, let's look at USOY and see if it gapped down this morning. Yes, it did too. That's why you have to understand how these work. Did it gap down because the market was soft or because it was ex-dividend day? Or in this case, maybe both, because we just saw the market for USO was soft. Ex-dividend day was actually the day before, though, so that's not an excuse. So this was just down because the market was soft. You could blame this day on the ex-dividend day, or you could blame this day on 71 cents of it. The day before we finished at 1923. Then this day is 1855, which is about 70, which equals the dividend, but just about. All right. Well, hopefully we'll have a turnaround in the price of oil. And hopefully bonds will keep going up if, for the sake of people that have trust. I really don't have many people that have trust. Okay, so do we have anything else going on the buffer report? Let's look over here on single names. Coney, Maxi, Misty, looking great. Apley outperforming. No one talks about Apley though. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just low volatility, low beta. Dizzo having a nice day. We've already talked about USOI. TLTW is a different fund, not Tress. It's Tress's competition. Just like USOY has USOI, Tress has TLTW. That's why I tried to put them right next to each other. I'll put USOY right here before the next report. But in any event, these should trade pretty close to each other. TLTW is straight bullish, where Tress is kind of omnidirectional. It's a volatility play. So the market's up big today. So TLTW, we would expect it to outperform Tress on a day like today. If the market stays volatile, though, Tress will catch up. All right, guys, I'll be back at the end of the day. I appreciate everything. Oh, yeah, I put the prices up here so you guys can see the prices. I don't know if you like that feature or not. So the first price is the price, how much the fund's up on the day. The second price is up on the month, right? You guys probably figured that out, day and month. But anyway, that way, even if we don't look at 5-minute max, you can kind of glance. I could even put the earnings per share in there. In any event, I appreciate you guys. You have a wonderful day, and I will be back after the market closes. See ya.